Hello, unlimited friends. It's Zara back again with questions about law of attraction and its application in practical ways to our lives. What I want to share with you today is the 3 most valuable things that I have learned about law of attraction, mostly from Abraham, but also from other teachers. The number one thing that I have learned from Abraham is that we should never, ever suppress our emotions. Our emotions are the way that the universe communicates with us. When we quench our emotions, when we suppress our emotions, when we push our emotions away, what we are doing is we are hanging up on the universe. Don't hang up on the universe. The universe is trying its best to communicate with you so that it can lead you to a better life. So when I started having this visual of when I suppress my anger towards someone or something, when I suppress my my disappointment about something, I'm literally hanging up on the universe. Oh my goodness, just stay there for a minute and try imagining hanging up on the universe. The most powerful entity that controls everything in the world is calling you, and you're either not picking up or you're picking up, and without listening, you're hanging up. How does that feel? You don't want to do that, do you? And you should not do that, because negative emotion does not mean that something is going wrong. Negative emotion means that you are not doing something that you need to do. It's calling you towards taking action. A lot of times people have this misconception about law of attraction that it does not require any action. That is incorrect. Law of attraction does require action. It just requires action that the universe is asking you to take. That's all. And we call that inspired action. All right, so that's the first thing. Before I tell you what the second thing is, let me do a short introduction because I forgot to do it before. To those people who are new here, hi, I'm Zara Mahoon. I'm a transformational coach, a mindset and manifesting expert, and the author of 16 books on the subject of law of attraction. This is my virtual hot seat where I answer questions from my subscribers and also from time to time teach law of attraction related concepts. If you have a question about law of attraction, you can post it below or send me an email through my website, zmahoon.com. All right, so let's get to it. The second thing that I've learned from Abraham is that thoughts are important only to the extent that they help us to generate 2 things: emotions and momentum. And it is the understanding of emotions and momentum that gives us control over manifestation. I have many videos about this on my channel, and I'm going to link a video up here that if you don't understand this concept, you must go and watch this video. So thoughts are in themselves not important. It's the emotion that the thought invokes in you that it creates your vibe, that is your vibration, and that is what results in a manifestation, provided there is momentum. Without momentum, manifestation cannot take place. And again, as I said, if you're not familiar with these concepts, go visit this other video after you're done with this one. Okay. Third most important thing that I have learned about law of attraction and the teachings of Abraham is, if something is coming to you, say yes. It's very important to say yes. When a thought comes into your head, Zara, do this, I no longer have a discussion with that thought. It's like there's someone telling me in my head, and it sounds like me, that is my inner being telling me, Zara, get up, call that person. My inner being is communicating that to me because that is the perfect time for me to get good results from taking action. But I can ignore that voice and I can say, I'll do it later. I don't feel like it. Or I'm watching this sitcom and I'm not going to make that call until this is over. I no longer do that. And the reason I don't do it is because I have discovered that when I act on the voice in my head right away, that's what inspired action is, and it always leads me to feeling good about myself, and it always gives me good results. And this, my friends, is the way to get rid of procrastination. When you start listening to the voice in your head, how many times has it happened to us as students or as workers? As a student, you have this thought that says, you better study. You've got that thing that you got to complete. That assignment is due tomorrow, or your exam is coming up in a week. You better study. And you say to yourself, I don't feel like studying. I'll do it later. If you had listened, then you wouldn't get stressed. You would get better results. Same thing goes for whatever work it is that you do. You know, the voice inside says, you've got these 10 things that you've got to accomplish, better get to it. And you quench that voice and you say, no, I don't think I'll do that just now. I just don't feel like it. I have lots of time to do it. And then you don't listen. Whereas that voice in your head is the voice of your inner being, the voice of your inner being, the inner being that knows more than you do. The inner being that sees things through the eyes of source is telling you this is the best time to get this thing done. And as you start listening to that voice inside you and allow it to guide you, what starts happening is that you start making better decisions about your life. When the voice inside my head says, Zara, you better go and meditate, I go and meditate. It changes my whole day. When the voice inside my head says, oh, wait, don't leave the house, you forgot something, I listen. It always guides me. And I now have my own evidence that has shown me that when I ignore that voice, things don't go well. Try it. So if something comes to you, say yes, because there's something in it for you. Always say yes. Because it's not the end of the line. It's not that you will do that thing and never have to do anything else in your life. That thing is just your next step. It's not your final destination. But when you take that next step is when other things will open up. It's only, haven't you noticed? You sit down because something needs to be done. Even in simple things, like for example, if I'm preparing for a meal and the voice inside my head says, Zara, you better start preparing, do the meal prep. And I go and I get everything out of my cupboard. I discover I don't have certain things that I need to complete this project. So it gives me enough time to go to the grocery store. If I'm studying for something, if I'm going to write an exam and the voice says, you better start studying, and I start studying, and then I notice that there are references in that material that I don't have. That allows me the time to go and find those references so that I can be better prepared. Imagine if I leave that right till the end, and then the night before the exam, I sit down and I study, and here are those references, and now everything's closed, and I don't know how to get those references. It's just going to create stress and anxiety for me. That's happened to me. And that thing that I didn't get to study is what showed up in the exam. So, guys, these are the 3 most valuable lessons that I've learned in all the years that I have been practicing law of attraction and the teachings of Abraham. And I hope that you will take these to heart and remember that when the voice of your inner being is calling you, there's something there for you. And negative emotion should never be ignored. Let's summarize now. Negative emotion should never be ignored. It should always be worked through. Don't ignore it, because that's like boiling water and you put a lid on top, then everything boils out, right? You've got more work now because you have a lot more cleaning up to do. So when you have a negative emotion, work through it, and that involves self-talk, and I teach how to do that in all my programs. So I've got a program called the Thought and Mind Alignment Program. It's listed below. Check that program out, because it takes you all the way from the beginning right to the end of being able to use law of attraction and becoming an expert with it. So there's a course listed below called the 16 Fundamental Principles for Manifesting, and it comes in a combo with the second course, which is the Heart and Mind Alignment Method. Or if you don't want to go the course route, I recommend going and getting this book, Thrive, because it contains everything that you need to know about how to not suppress your emotions, how to use your thoughts, your emotions, and momentum properly, and how to say yes and stop procrastination. All of that is in this book. And of course, I have 16 books, so there are everything that I have learned is contained in these books. But I think that Thrive is a textbook, a law of attraction textbook that everyone who is interested in law of attraction should read. And the best thing about this book is that I was inspired to draw diagrams to explain how the physics behind law of attraction works. So the book contains 42 diagrams that explain law of attraction. All right, so I hope that this video helps you, and I hope that you will go and get the book, because I can tell you it will change your life. Take care, folks. Love you a lot, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.